We've got another listener from our Public Insight Network who sent us a suggestion about a story that maybe hasn't gotten much attention this past year. Charles Robinson. There's Charles. Charles, thanks for coming to the show.
Hi, thank you.
First off, what do you do for a living?
I'm just a computer geek at an internet provider.
All right. Not terribly relevant to where we're going here, but
No.
Let people know you a little bit better. What's the story that you suggested maybe isn't getting covered the way it should be?
Oh, the discussion we were having is whenever anybody thinks about an inexperienced motorcycle rider, they always picture the teenagers wearing the shorts and the flip-flops and no helmet on some sort of sports bike. But there's another demographic of new motorcycle riders out there that worries me too, and that is with the increased sales of all the big expensive cruisers, Harleys for example, are pretty pricey bikes. There's a whole other range of riders that are new out on the street, and that's the baby boomers and the adults whose first motorcycle is a big 700-pound beast that they may have not had much practice on and they don't have a lot of experience.
An offshoot of the demographic changes, the baby boom?
Sure.
Growing up?
Definitely.
Kids going out of the house, got some money to throw around, maybe?
Time to buy some toys, yeah.
Why do you think older bikers are getting into accidents?
Well, like I just said, it's sort of a lack of experience. I mean, you have a lot of life experience, but when you're riding, there's a lot of things you have to learn every day about what's safe, what to watch out for, how all the cars are trying to kill you. And if the first time on your bike is when you're a little older, a little slower, and you've got this huge piece of machinery under you because those things are heavy, you can get into trouble real quick without practice or training.
And Charles, you're a biker?
Yes, definitely.
I gather? Mm-hmm. For many years now?
25 years, I guess.
Okay. Thanks very much for coming into the show. Thanks for the idea. Mm-hmm. You know, sure, round of applause for Charles. Now, our in-the-loop producer, Sandon Totten, was inspired, let's say, when he saw your idea about motorcycles. Hey, Sandon.
Hey, Jeff. How's it going?
I'm doing well. So, you also know somebody, an older someone, let's say, who bought a Harley?
Well, actually, it was a Kawasaki Vulcan, and it was my mom.
Sounds like a nice setup. Tell us more.
Okay, a few things you need to know about my mom. She's an ER doctor. She's about 50 years old, and she is ferociously determined. When she decides to do something, nobody can talk her out of it. That's what happened about 10 years ago. You see, my mom was having this midlife crisis.
I still don't think it was really that much of a crisis, but anyway.
Okay, that's my mom, and she calls it her midlife event. Whatever. All I remember is this. I came home from school one day, and in the garage, I see this motorcycle. A big, chromy, angry-looking thing, just like parked right there, sneering at our white minivan. I run upstairs, completely shocked, and in the kitchen, both of my parents are laughing at me.
Yes, we did think it was pretty funny the way you said, "Holy shit, there's a bike in our garage." Poor Sandon looked so astonished.
Yeah, real funny, Mom. The kind of fun that can get you killed. Every day, an average of 12 Americans wipes out riding one of these death traps. And buying one is the kind of impulsive, irresponsible, half-baked idea I'd expect from someone young and stupid like me. Not my mom.
It certainly was an impulse, Sandon, but I don't think it was all that irresponsible. I was very careful about how I did things.
That's true. She did buy every form of protection known to man, from a full-face helmet to fireproof socks. And in the end, she was going to ride this thing no matter what I said. My only hope was that this was just going to be a passing phase. It wasn't a passing phase. My mom bought a full leather outfit to go with the fireproof socks. She started cutting the sleeves off her t-shirts. She even joined a biker gang. Okay, so it was a biker gang for doctors and lawyers, so less six-packs and brass knuckles and more briefcases and bifocals, but still, there was something kind of cool about it all. My mom was like Peter Fonda in Easy Rider, except short, female, and middle-aged. But the point was, my mom was having fun. This was the happiest I'd seen her in years. So when she announced to our family that she was going to take a cross-country trip on her bike, I asked to ride along on the back. Of course, she said yes. She's my mom. So we packed up our stuff in 2 saddlebags, and we hit the open road. We started out on the West Coast. It was summer, so it was hot.
Really hot. About 105, 110 at least.
But when we reached the Rocky Mountains, things cooled down a bit. My mom's bike was pretty powerful, so we had no trouble climbing those hills.
It was effortless. We just kept on rolling. It didn't matter if we were going uphill or downhill.
Our bike was unstoppable.
And then we came out of the Rockies and all this incredibly beautiful scenery, and
We were swooping and swooshing down the roadway.
downhill towards Denver and down, and suddenly we hit the city and out of the city on the other side.
And then nothing. It was flat and boring for miles. The most entertaining thing we'd see for hours were billboards by the side of the road, like Bob's Diner, 10 miles. Bob's Diner, 8 miles. We'd read those signs like they were literature.
Good line, reading it like literature.
Thanks, Mom.
Do you remember when we ran out of gas?
Yeah, we were somewhere in Kansas, I think. It was late at night, and we totally forgot to fill up the tank. Eventually, the bike just rolled to a stop. We were in the middle of nowhere, and it was pitch black, so we just decided to go out in the middle of a deserted field and look up at the stars. Mom and I started talking about everything, from motorcycles to life. And it was the first time I really got to hear about what she was like when she was my age. I remember thinking, we've got a lot in common. On that trip, I think we made a pretty good team.
We made a great team.
Yeah, we did. And I finally came around to the idea of my mom being a biker. Then, the accident. It was a couple months later. Mom was heading to work one day, and she lost control of her bike in the middle of a turn. She survived it okay, but her knee was busted pretty badly, and the bike was totaled. The crazy thing is, this didn't stop her. She bought a new bike and was back on the road in weeks. All my fears came flooding back. I mean, this is my mom. She's fragile. She breaks easily, and I just don't want her to die.
I'd really rather not die. I've got a lot of living I want to do. But this is part of living instead of just existing.
Yeah, but why can't that mean staying at home, just hanging out with your kids? I don't know, knitting or something. Enough is enough, Mom. You've had your fun. It's time you ditch the bike.
Okay, first of all, you're not my parent. I gave what I needed to do to raise you and to set you out on the world. Now it's time for me to do what pleases me, and I know the risks, and the risks are worth the benefits.
She's convincing. As much as I bite my nails, pull my hair, she's a grown-up, and she can do what she wants. I can tell her how I feel, but in the end, there's a point when you just have to trust your parents. Trust that you've raised them well, and hope that they make the right decisions.
Sandon Totten. Thank you, Sandon.